My name is Daniel. For almost 3 years, I worked the night shift as a security guard in a 12-story office building on the edge of our city. If you've ever worked nights, you know the feeling. The whole world seems to be asleep, and you're the only person left awake inside a huge empty box of glass and concrete. At first, I actually liked it. It was quiet. No bosses watching over me, and I could listen to podcasts or watch movies on my phone between patrols. But I don't work there anymore. Not after what happened on my last shift. I still don't know how to explain it in a way that makes sense. All I can do is tell it exactly how it happened and hope that by getting it out, maybe I can sleep through the night again. Maybe. The building was called Riverside Tower, even though it wasn't near any river. It was one of those modern office blocks with mirrored windows and way too much glass everywhere. During the day, it was full of people: lawyers, accountants, a tech startup, and a health clinic on the 5th floor. At night, though, it was just me. My shift was from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'd arrive a bit early, relieve the day guard, and sign the logbook. Then I did the routine: check lobby doors and locks, scan each floor with a little RFID scanner that proved I'd done the patrol, watch the camera feeds, fill out reports. The building had 12 floors, but only 1 through 11 were used. The 12th floor was empty, unfinished, never rented. The company that owned the tower kept saying they'd develop it later, but later never came. Officially, my patrol route didn't include the 12th floor. There were no offices up there, no tenants, and no lights except emergency ones. The elevator button for 12 wasn't even lit during the day. You couldn't select it without a key. I had that key. I never used it. Not at first. We had about 30 cameras: lobby, parking garage, stairwells, elevator interior, and each hallway. Everything was routed to the security room on the ground floor. That room was my base: a desk, a coffee machine that tasted like hot metal, and a wall of monitors. For the first 2 years, nothing happened. Occasionally, a drunk person would try to sleep near the entrance. Sometimes a cleaner forgot to lock a door. Once, a guy from the tech startup came back at 2 a.m., saying he'd left his laptop. He looked wired and sweaty. I'm pretty sure he wanted somewhere quiet to do drugs. I escorted him out. Normal night shift weirdness. Then, last winter, things changed. Slowly. It started with camera 27, the one pointing at the hallway of the 11th floor. Around 3 a.m., I noticed a flicker on the screen. Just a little glitch, like the image jumped to frame. I made a note in the logbook: C27 flickering, maintenance needed. The next night, same thing. Same time. The night after that, I put my coffee down and stared at monitor 27 at 2:59 a.m. The hallway was empty, lights dim. At 3 a.m. exactly, the screen glitched again, just for half a second, like a blink. I replayed the recording 3 times. Nothing was different, except maybe a slightly darker patch near the end of the hallway. A trick of the light, probably. I told the building manager the next day. He shrugged. "The cameras are old," he said. "We'll replace them when we redo the 11th floor. Don't worry about it unless it goes out completely." So I tried not to worry. Then the elevator started acting strange. One night around 2:30 a.m., the elevator dinged. That got my attention because I was alone in the building and no one else had come in. I checked the camera feed. The elevator panel showed it was going up from the lobby to the 6th floor, then the 9th, then the 11th, like someone inside was pressing random buttons. I watched the lobby camera, expecting to see someone step out earlier, and I'd missed them. But nobody had entered for hours. The elevator doors opened on floor 11. The hallway camera showed nothing. Empty corridor. No one there. The door stayed open for 10 seconds, then closed. The elevator went back down to the lobby. Doors opened again, then it sat there. I wrote it off as a glitch. Machines do weird things. But it kept happening. Not every night, just enough to make me notice. 1:47 a.m., elevator goes from lobby to 7th to 10th to 11th. No one inside, no one in the hallway, no one leaving the building. The system log recorded it as normal usage, like a person was pressing buttons. I mentioned it to the maintenance guy. He said the elevator's control board might be failing. "We'll schedule a service," he said. Weeks passed. Nothing changed. Three months ago, I was sitting in the security room around 3:15 a.m., half watching some stupid video on my phone, when the intercom crackled. The intercom is the system that lets tenants call security from phones inside the building, like if they get locked out of their office. At night, it never rings. No one's supposed to be there. I jolted upright and grabbed the handset. "Security," I said. "Daniel speaking." For a moment, there was only static. Then, very faintly, a voice. "Hello?" It sounded like a woman, but thin and far away, like she was calling through a tunnel. "Hello, this is security," I repeated. "Where are you calling from?" Another burst of static. Then more clearly, I'm on the 12th floor. Can you unlock the door?" I frowned. "The 12th floor?" I repeated. "Ma'am, that floor is closed. There's no one up there. Which office are you in?" There was breathing on the line. Slow, steady, but shaky, like she was cold. I can't get out," she said. "The door won't open. Please, can you unlock it? I think..." Something in my chest tightened. "What's your name?" I asked. Silence. Then the line went dead with a soft click. I stared at the handset. The call display showed EXT 12-1. I knew that was impossible. The 12th floor had no phones. The wiring hadn't even been finished. I told myself it was some kind of crossed line or system hiccup, but my hands were shaking. I grabbed my flashlight and master keycard and headed to the elevator. For the first time since I'd started working there, I used the key to unlock the 12th floor button. The light clicked on. The elevator doors closed. As I ascended, I felt the pressure in my ears shift. It's weird, this same elevator I used dozens of times a night suddenly felt wrong, like I was going somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. The doors slid open with a soft